Now for some of you guys, this video will change your life. I absolutely guarantee it. If you're stuck, if you're mowing lawns, if you seem like you're in a rut and you're not getting anywhere and the money isn't really flowing in and it's just not everything that you wanted it to be, by the time you're done watching this video, I have some ideas for you that for some of you will change your life. And I know this because I just left Equip Expo, where I got to shake hundreds of your hands and you guys said, you have changed the way I work. And that has inspired me to make this video today because I've got an idea for you guys on how to take your business, baby step this into the next level, but with mega high profits. Let's dive right into today's project. I added this urn over here, and there's three things that this urn does. Most people don't realize it. They think, oh, it's just a cool decoration. No, that urn right there provides aeration for the pond. Number one, that's a critical element. Number two, it provides filtration. That urn, let me show you what I'm actually talking about. That urn is one of the best algae turf scrubbers around. I'm growing this goo on purpose on my urn so I can walk over to my urn, yank this goo off my urn, just like you see me doing here, and that cleans up my pond. So instead of the algae growing down in the water where I gotta put on a swimsuit and clean it out, I can walk over, grab it, and toss it away. So that's the second thing it does. But the third thing that it does is it looks good and it sounds amazing. This is such a simple upgrade to any pond. And I didn't have it in the beginning, and we threw this in because you can make $5 grand putting one of these in, and it takes 3-4 hours for a couple guys. And that's according to the Aquascape team. And if you haven't seen that video, go back and check it out. But that single urn is not keeping up with my algae in my pond. See that? It's getting away from me. It's getting out of hand. And that's got to come to an end. So that's the first problem we're going to take care of. But the second one is a little deeper and a little more complex, and I do want to talk to you about that today. So while we're building that, I'm going to be talking to you about the other thing. If you're doing lawn care and it's just not cutting it for you. Now, for some people it works fine. They've got a special knack at pulling the most profits out of making tall grass short. But if you happen to be one of those people that does not have that special juicy touch that gets you those high profits, here's an idea for you. If you are currently mowing 5 days a week, take your worst customers and get rid of them, throw them out, and open up 1 day a week of your schedule. So now you should be working 4 days a week, and you've got one extra day. That one extra day, I'm going to encourage you to dive your toe into doing fountainscapes. Not full-fledged water ponds, not waterfalls, fountainscapes. This is the simplest way to get you to put your pinky toe into the realm of installing water features. Water features have the highest profit per hour of anything inside the green industry. The average lawn care guy, his profits average anywhere from $25 to $35 an hour. The average waterscape guy, his profits are $252 per hour. Now, the fountain that you're gonna see us, Frankie and I, install today, you could do. It doesn't require special skills, and it doesn't require special tools. It's sitting right there. Him and I, a 53-year-old man and a 63-year-old man, installed that fountain in less than 3 hours. So that would be less than 6 hours combined total. And that fountain, we have the ability to charge $5,000. Now, I made an entire video with Chris Wilson from the Aquascape team showing exactly how we did that. And the Aquascape guys have done this for decades, over and over again. So fire your worst lawn care customers, open up 1 day a week for yourself, and start marketing for fountainscapes. Now, Aquascape actually teaches you how to do all this. I go every single year. My team goes every year. The training that they do there, and they're not paying me to say this. This is not paid. I'm not sponsored. Nothing. This is the best business training they put on every single year inside of the green industry. They break everything down. If you're worried about how do I do this, how do I get started, go check them out and do a winter training, and you may just see me there because I am there every single year doing a refresher course training. I take advanced classes, I take beginner classes, we take all sorts of different kinds of classes. But I'm not done yet. There's more to it. So let's just see what it takes to install a fountain like that first, and then I got some more ideas for you. All right, you guys, this process is as simple as it comes. And now that I've said that, it won't be. Okay, but here's your list of ingredients. Pretty straightforward. Some black silicone, because once the pipe comes up here, you want to silicone it to make sure that it seals good. A 90-degree 2-inch elbow, a 90-degree T. I got a couple extra couplers just because. And then you need these control valves because you got to control the flow to each urn. Water will take the path of least resistance. And so we've got to be able to dial these up and down. Now I'm going to embed them straight inside of the urn itself. Once you get them dialed in, you don't have to mess with them. I'm going to dry fit it, so I'm just going to get the raw pipe sticking up, dial it in, turn my pump on, and we're good to go. Now I already have the pump because I'm powering that urn with it. So if you don't have an urn already installed, you will need a pump. You will need an electric outlet to run that pump. Everything that you see here, just order it off from Aquascape. It's the simplest way to go except for the PVC pipes. Go down to your local store and pick those up. Let's make it happen, Captain. Another rookie mistake that I see a lot of companies making is using their own bank account to finance their own business. They only grow how far and how comfortably they can with the amount of cash that they have available on hand. Don't do that. Don't limit yourself by what resources you have immediately available. Leverage other people's money to grow your business. And I know this can get to be a little bit intimidating if you think about, well, what does that mean? I got to go out and borrow money? Yeah, if you can borrow money to pay for a piece of equipment, especially if the financing is right at like 0%, financing for a piece of food, absolutely do it. Now, I did a video a while back on a company called Revenued. These guys right here, and I got my own card. And Revenued, what this does is, this is another form of using other people's money, but it's not really, it's kind of different. They give you financing based on your own past 3 months of revenue. And it doesn't cost you a dime, and you don't have to use it. Think of it like this. If you jump out of an airplane, you are your own parachute, meaning you're depending on yourself to make sure that you don't get into financial problems. But what if you do get into a little bit of a problem? This is like your backup parachute. You don't have to use it, but it sure feels good knowing that it's there just in case you need to pull that secondary ripcord. Boys, do not go out without your backup parachute plan in place. This is way better than the alternative I used to have. Unlike what I was stuck with growing up, which is called a line of credit, which you have to do processing fees, you have to go in and apply, and then you have to get this, and it's just a big hassle. The Revenued is different. I highly recommend you have something like this at the tip of your fingers, because if you ever have a customer that hasn't paid you on time or what have you, and you don't want to run your own bank account down, you can use these guys, these Revenued guys. You can get cash, you can pay your guys, you can buy materials. It's basically like a credit card that you don't have to use, but it's not a credit card. It's a completely different thing. I'm gonna recommend you go check it out, revenued.com. Go on there and give it a once over, because It's a phenomenal way to grow your business without leveraging your own finances and limiting yourself to the amount of cash you have available in your own bank account, because that can be one of the biggest things that slows us down from taking our business to the next level. Leverage other people's money to build your own business. And that's not even leveraging other people's money. It's technically your money. You're just betting against your future self that you're going to be able to pay it back. And it only takes maybe 5-10 minutes to apply and doesn't cost you a dime. When I was starting out, if this would have been an option, I would have jumped on it. I firmly believe this can help some of you guys out. Otherwise, I wouldn't be putting it in this video. Let's get back into this project. If I was starting all over again from scratch, I would absolutely be looking at doing fountainscapes in my own company. I'm giving this advice to my past self, which happens to be you right now. What I mean is, the level, it's so much easier to do a fountainscape. The level of difficulty to do a fountainscape in comparison to hardscaping, I would say a fountainscape is about a 3. Hardscaping is about a 7 or an 8, depending on how complex that project is. The amount of capital and overhead you need to do a fountainscape is about a 1 to a 2. You need some shovels, maybe a sawzall and a couple other hand tools. You don't need a lot to start to do these fountainscapes. In fact, the one you see us doing in this video is way more complex than just to go out and to do a one-off fountainscape in the front of somebody's yard. Because if you want to do a one-off fountainscape in the front of somebody's yard, you just got to dig a hole big enough to hold the basin, shove that basin underground, and then you put the fountainscape on top of it, fill it in, and boom, the plumbing is a lot less. What Frankie and I are doing in this video is way more complicated than what you would be doing if you were doing a one-off fountainscape. And some of you guys are going to say, oh, it's not possible. You can't install those for $5,000. And to the guys saying that, to the other guys listening to that, they're telling you their story. They can't do it. They can't figure it out. Maybe it's not right for them. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's plenty of people. There's over 500 contractors in the United States that are doing this right now. And I know that number for a fact because I just left Pandemonium at Aquascape, where there was over 500 contractors that I personally talked to, shook their hand, and they are doing it. It's not a were, they currently are doing it. So if you read in the comments how it's not possible to do this, all people are doing is when they tell you what can't be done, they're telling you what they can't do. And that's fine. That's not a bad thing, because that's less competition for you guys that know you can do this. You guys that want to take it to the next level. This is something that is possible. They teach you how to do it. It's wash, rinse, and repeatable. There's nothing that can hold you back. You just gotta want it. You just gotta want it. And it's so much easier than getting into hardscaping. And so much more profitable. And so much less overhead and capital and equipment. If I could go back in time and start all over again, I would absolutely do the things I'm telling you to do in this video. I would do them myself. Okay, silicone's dry. Now's the time to test things out. We'll see if our work worked. All right, here we go. All right. Not quite even. Not quite. So let's turn the pump up a bit. Well, all right, guys, we got the second urn in. The water's a little cloudy because we did silt up that filtration system, but here we go. Let's just take a look at her and you guys tell me how you think it looks in the comments below. Frankie and I worked on it for probably about 3 hours roughly. That's the first urn, and then there's the second one next to it. And just the overall, how it kind of just ties everything together and it adds that extra height. It's just awesome. Once this cleans up, I think she'll look even better. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed going along for the ride, and as always, I enjoy having you here. And I shared some words of wisdom and some things that I've learned along the way, and I'd like to hear your guys' story as well. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. But God bless, and go get them, you guys. Well, guys, that's going to call it for this video. You can cut 142 lawns, or you can put in one fountainscape and actually make more money, more profit. And the reason I say more profit, even though 142 lawns at $35 a piece averages out to be about $5,000, you also have a trailer, truck, fuel, insurance. You have all the overhead that goes along with that. Where with one fountainscape, you don't have all of the fuel of mowing, you don't have the maintenance, you don't not sharpening blades, you don't have the insurance trying to cover all of your equipment. It's just so much simpler and easier. But that's gonna call it for this video. Remember 2 things. 1, build your business not using your own money. Leverage other people's money. Revenue is a great way of doing that. Number 2, fire your worst customers. Keep one day open, so that you can go out and experiment and try to start to do fountainscapes. Try to do the marketing. Try to open the door to other future potential possibilities, right? Because I believe that what'll happen is that one day that you keep open may go to 2 days, and it may go to 3, and who knows, maybe you become a full-time waterscape contractor. Who knows? I know for some of you, you will, and it'll change your life, and you will be happy because I meet you guys at events, and this is exactly what you're telling me you've done because you've seen these videos. That's why I do this video. It's not for everybody. Some of you guys are going to be pushing back going, oh no, that's dumb. That's fine. That's fine. This video is not for you. It's for the other guys that believe in themselves, that want a better life, that just need the information, need to know where to go, how to do it. It's for those guys. God bless. Go get them, you guys. We'll catch you on another one.